He tossed a piece of meat into the lake, and chaos broke out. The crocodiles fought fiercely, but one was left with nothing. Furious, it emerged from the water and headed straight toward the worker.
After days of digging, this man-fin ally struck gold. Oil. But what he did next will shock you. Instead of selling it or sending it to refineries, he used a strange device called a solar reflector to heat the oil. In no time, the oil began to boil, and when he opened the lid, it turned into a black, sticky substance. But instead of wasting it, he mixed it with gravel as if making ice cream. Then he used this magical mixture to fix a pothole-ridden road. What do you think of his idea? How would you rate it out of 10? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Can you imagine what this man did? He took a wide tube and started covering it with stones right in the river. At first it seemed pointless, but he continued filling the gaps between the stones with cement, creating a small fountain in the middle of the river. Then he placed iron rods at the bottom. The next day he added more stones and left it to dry. When he returned, he revealed a clever fishing trap that works incredibly effectively. What do you think of this creative idea? This professor placed hundreds of Red Bull cans on every chair in the classroom, with a note that read, "Open at 9:15. As the room filled with the sounds of cans opening and laughter, the professor began to wonder, what's going on here? Was this a prank or a social experiment? Watch the video to find out the full story. This man has a crazy idea that could make him a millionaire. All he needs are discarded plastic bottles. He shredded them into thin strips, then ground them until they were as fine as silk. Next, he fed the crushed plastic into a cotton candy machine to create fine threads. He then turned them into plastic wool, wove it into fabric, dyed it blue, and added a logo using liquid plastic. The result? An amazing plastic hat. But he didn't keep it for himself. He gave it to a man shivering from the cold on the street. What do you think of this idea? This girl makes a huge fortune every month through a unique business. She fires real bullets underwater where they explode. After collecting them, she cleans and polishes them carefully, then burns them to remove the casings. She then turns these bullets into beautiful rings and necklaces, selling them at high prices. What do you think of this creative work? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This team showed exceptional skill in folding a massive football field. Every member knew their role perfectly, and they worked in incredible harmony. In just 5 minutes, they folded the field flawlessly. Their teamwork was impressive, and the final result was amazing. What do you think of their performance? This police dog was called to inspect a suspicious bag, but he was surprised with a retirement party prepared by the officers. The dog looked so happy with the gift and tried to catch every ball. After years of loyal service, it was time for him to retire and live a happy life as a regular dog. What do you think of this touching moment? This man tried to prank his friend by performing a jiu-jitsu move that temporarily paralyzes the body, but his plan failed at first. Moments later, his friend retaliated and executed the move with precision and speed. What do you think of this risky prank? While wandering the streets of Afghanistan, a traveler found a child unconscious. He bought him pomegranate juice, but the child didn't respond at first. When he opened his eyes, he was too weak to hold the cup, and the juice spilled. But the man gave him money to make him feel better, then bought him a new cup. What do you think of this heartwarming story? 3 men were challenged to escape a giant hole without using any tools, only their bodies. The first one tried running out but failed. Then they tried climbing on each other and succeeded in getting the lightest person out. But the biggest challenge was getting the last person out. Using a strange and risky technique, they finally succeeded. If you think you can do this, subscribe to the channel. This chef cleaned a dirty grill, but the task was harder than expected. After using secret cleaning solutions, the grill started making strange noises. After careful cleaning, it shined like new. What do you think of these cleaning skills?